Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's your Midwest girl, Olivia Valadez. I'm so excited because I am going to Singapore. Surprise my best friend. I cannot wait. I leave tomorrow. This won't go up till Sunday. So I can finally say it. I will have seen her by then. I'm so excited. Do I have 2 flights just to get to California? And then on top of that, have to leave San Francisco and fly for 16 and a half hours and lose an entire day in the meantime that I did not realize when I booked this flight. Yes. Will I be in the back with the peasants? Yes. Am I gonna try to make a vlog style video for you guys? Absolutely. I am in workout clothes, as you can see, unless I'm sitting on the floor. Okay, I'm in workout clothes because I'm gonna go work out because I do not want to sit and be antsy. I don't like it when I get really antsy on a flight when it's that long, and I can't stand it when I get the heebie-jeebies. Like, you ever have the heebie-jeebies, and you have to move your knee, you have to move your arms, like you just want to explode because you can't move. So as you guys know, Lindsay and I have been friends since college. I love this woman. I always say if I swung the other way, girl, I would have tied it down. Okay. She is just incredible, and I have multiple best friends, mind you. Okay, I got my girl Caitlin, I got Rosie, I got Lindsay, I have Monica, I have Caitlin, I have Sarah. Okay, like I have multiple Caitlins. So if I ever say Caitlins, I have 2 of them in my life. I have other people who I'm not even thinking of right now. My cousin, my sister. I could go on and on. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to this so much. I have had this booked since I think March. And I've been thinking about this and scheming with her husband since I think like last maybe November or January. So shout out to her husband because he has helped make this all possible, help me figure out what I need to do in order to get there, get my travel. And I haven't even been able to focus at work the last couple days because I just can only think about this and what do I need, and I have an ongoing checklist, and my neighbor has helped me out, and I'll have to tell you the whole lore about that at some point. But I became friends with my neighbor because I wrote him a letter of complaint because it kept getting really loud at night, and it was actually his cats, and then we ended up getting along, and now we're friends. He is incredible and flamboyant and just a fabulous man. So now we have fun, and he cooks and will bring me snacks, and I'll drop little things by, and it's just a good relationship. So here we are. I wish I had a better place for natural light in my place, but I just don't. I do not. It's like next to windows or my sliding door, I don't really have furniture over here. I will post the chairs I want somewhere on the screen. And I want these chairs so bad, but I want 2 of them, and they just seem really expensive to me because I've got other things I'd rather spend my money on, like going on vacations. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Okay. I don't have anything major today. I just want to chit chat a little bit, but I'm telling you guys, also, I would like to say this. This trip is paid for in full. I do not know how people take trips on credit and fully enjoy them. I am a financial scaredy cat, and I floated around like a little feather in the wind in my 20s doing whatever I felt like within reason, but I also was broke. I go over all of that in other videos. And now that I got a more stable job and I'm just more settled, I know what I'm excited for. Besides seeing my friend, of course, all the excitement things, she has 2 kids that I can't wait to see, and then I am like cool with her husband and everything. I look forward to seeing all of them. But as far as Singapore itself goes, I cannot wait to see it at night. It's going to be so beautiful. They are known for being clean, respectful, safe in this city. I've had multiple people ask me, like, are you scared? Are you nervous? First of all, when my friend told me she was going to be moving, which she's moved around a few times for this company, but this is the farthest and this is the longest period of time. And I visited her in other places as well. Canada was one of them, Lafayette, Louisiana was another. And this was hard though. It was a 3-year contract. It's like a 3-year contract. And so it's temporary. She will eventually come back to the States. And I have a really bad coping mechanism that when I'm worried about somebody leaving me or they're gonna go move somewhere else or whatever, I recluse. I stay further away from them. I back up, and I think it's a defense mechanism or a self preservation. And now we are finally on the back end of them living there and being there. And then on top of that, I'm getting to do this. I'm also invited to one of her family members' weddings coming up in September. So she thinks I'm not gonna be able to see her till then, but I'm actually going to see her in 2 days. So I could do all the things. I guess I'll kind of do a little bit of prep of how I planned this, cost, what it entails, any kind of qualifications I needed to have to make sure that I qualified to be able to go, and I'll just kind of go over it. I don't really have any notes. I'd like to be a little bit more organized in this, and I didn't even know what this video would exactly entail, but I guess this will be like a prep travel kind of video. My sister's a really good international traveler. She has a lot more experience than I do, and there's other people who have way more experience than her, and she is a big researcher. I am more of like shoot in the dark and hope everything works out kind of person. So I've been trying to do a little bit more research on this because I wanted to make sure I had it organized in my head. Like, what do I want to do? Is there any kind of market I want to go to? Is there any kind of tourist attraction that I'd like to see? What do I need to prepare for? All of that stuff. So first off, of course, I was not going to let this opportunity pass. I have gone international one other time, and that was when I went to Iceland and Ireland. I went to the K-State football game there against which was ironic because our flights were canceled out of Wichita and we actually had to drive through the state of Iowa. We drove up to Chicago to catch our connecting flight. You have to understand, where I live, you cannot just fly from Wichita out of the country. This is not an international airport here. There's only like 10 terminals. It's a lot smaller and it's very expensive to fly out of. So we are always connecting. I think the only places you can connect through are Denver, Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Seattle, there's probably 1 or 2 other. Yeah, it's just limited. Just know that like resources are limited, okay? And that's what I mean by at the end of the day, y'all, I am sure I'm on here and doing whatever, but like I'm not in LA. I'm not doing the LA thing. I am here in the Midwest. We are living the Midwest life here. Okay, prep, planning. This is some of the essentials that I'm bringing. This is what I'm gonna do for this. If I could just, this is what I wanna do, is be in the sun, but I'd have to I'd basically have to be out on my back patio. Okay, planning. First of all, if you're gonna go to Singapore and you're gonna buy the flight, be ready to drop some money. My flight was just over $1,800 and that was good. Most of them I looked at were $2,000, and then people had the audacity to ask if I was flying business class, which is like first class in international flights. I know business in national flights here in the United States is, sorry, ignore my bug bites. National flights here in the United States, if you're in business, you're technically in like a tier down from first class, right? It goes first class, business class, like economy or something like that. In international flights, it's just business class and then economy. So I am gonna be in the back and I'm just gonna deal with it. It's the way it is. So one of my biggest things was I did want to make sure I had points or I had a credit card that would be able to be applied to this. This is not sponsored, but I did get a United credit card to be able to rack up points for this and help with any other trips that I take on the upcoming year or in the upcoming like months. Something that I did to try to give myself a little bit of space was book this out ahead of time. So I had enough time to have, like I said, everything paid off by the time the trip came along. I didn't want to be stressed about payments. I didn't want to be stressed about not booking something until I got there, like a returning flight or anything like that. I did fly round trip. And one of my biggest reasons for flying United was that I wanted to be sure that I did not have an international connecting flight. Because here's the deal. If you have an international connecting flight, for example, we had to account for the time zone changes. So if I had a connecting flight from San Francisco to, let's say, like London or something like that, and then London to Singapore, I had to account for when we'd land in London and then what time it would be in London and then when we'd take off, and make sure I lined up those flights. If you are able to fly all one airline, they already accommodate all of those and take those into consideration. And that was one of my biggest reasons for booking through United, is because they fly directly from the United States to Singapore. There is no layovers that I had to go through, or I will have to go through international. One thing, you do have to have a arrival card. This stressed me out, okay? Because the earliest you can apply for this arrival card is 3 days ahead of your arrival date when you get there. And that really bothered me because I did not want to forget. So I put many reminders in my phone. I put calendar reminders in. I put set alarms. I wanted to make sure that I did not drop the ball on this, and that I was obviously gonna apply for that when I needed to, because it'd be really sad. I don't even know what the repercussions would be if they'd hold me in immigration, or what they would do when I got there if I did not have this complete. So luckily I got that done. Obviously you need to make sure you have a passport, and then another requirement for Singapore at least was it cannot be ready to expire in 6 months or less. So I had to renew mine earlier this year to make sure that it was up to date enough and that the expiration date wasn't anytime soon and it wouldn't affect it. So that's something I did want to do. Prep for flight. How do I even begin on this? It is hard to be comfortable on a plane for 16 and a half hours. That will be my leg on the way there, okay? Or that was my leg on the way there. I don't know, whenever you see this. And I'm really strange. I sleep on my stomach when I sleep. So I like to be leaning on something, and my face to be leaned on something one way or the other. I can, because I'm so short, fit and lay down on the tray in front of me. If I put like the tray down in front of me, I can lay down on it. The problem is I usually get a crick in my neck, and then I'm really uncomfortable. If I somehow am able to fall asleep sitting upright, I fall asleep like this, and my head will cock to one side or the other. I don't like that, of course. That's super uncomfortable to wake up to. And I don't know if I really used a neck pillow before. I used the turtle. I used the turtle on the way to and from Ireland. And if you've seen the turtle, it kind of like supports more than just a neck pillow. Anyways, I got a thing that'll strap my head to the freaking back of the seat. It's gonna be an eye mask, and it attaches to the back of the seat, and it says that I will not slump down, but I do have kind of a blanket that I could roll up and keep right here to help support as well, if I feel like it's putting too much pressure on my neck or something like that. I'll let you know how that goes following it. Chargers of all sorts. Of course, I'm bringing all the chargers, all the things. I'm gonna be downloading audiobooks. Audiobooks, if you ever want to sponsor me, I would love to be sponsored. I love audiobooks. I could do a whole video over just audiobooks, how they changed my life, how they got me through so many different phases of my life and times. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm not bringing any books. My strategy for packing is that I'm going to have a carry-on only and a personal item only. I'm not checking a bag. Not because I don't want to, because I'm a heavy packer. I want to take all the things. I want to take 3 pairs of shoes, 4 pairs of shoes, all the different potential outfits, belts, clips, this, that, all the hair tools I want. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Here's why. I went for such a short period of time that I'm going for such a short period of time that if the airline was to lose my checked bag, I would be screwed. It sometimes takes them a couple days, 3 days to get it to you once it's lost. So then I wouldn't have any of my essentials, I wouldn't have any of my clothes. And on top of that, by the time they got it to me, I might only have like 3 or 4 days left of my stay. So that is not fun. That is not a good time. And I want my stuff to be with me. And so I'm sacrificing space for being able to have a carry-on. And let me tell you, can we just talk for a second about why on earth is it such a requirement to have a quart-size bag? A quart-size freaking baggie. It's tiny. Why? Like, do you think I'm gonna take down the plane with my face moisturizer? I wouldn't dare waste my face moisturizer on anybody else, especially for a violent act, when that stuff is very expensive, okay? And I wouldn't, my toiletries, like, I don't understand. And what really bothers me too is depending on the TSA that you're at, sometimes they'll say like a cream or a moisturizer is a liquid. I'm like, this is not a liquid, it's a solid. I could turn it upside down and it's gonna stay in. That's not a stinking liquid, you guys. And they will count it as a liquid. They've tried to throw like my big pot of moisturizer away before. So this time I made sure to have it less than 3 ounces. And I have stuffed my baggie absolutely full. Because heaven forbid I actually show up somewhere on vacation and look moisturized or bathed or have shampoo and conditioner. I got a lot of hair, y'all. I have a lot of stinking hair. The travel size shampoo and conditioner can get me through like 2 washes. So I've just decided once I get there, I will simply have to just buy products once I get there, which honestly, Asian culture comes in clutch for skin, hair, nails, and I'm assuming they're gonna have some incredible products that I'd wanna try anyways while I'm there. So that's kind of my standard on that. Another big thing that I really want to do, because I've made this mistake before, luckily on flights not this long and I've learned my lesson, is put your toothbrush and toothpaste, have it out of your roller suitcase, whether it's a checked bag or whether it's a carry-on, because you don't want to be digging through that thing. And I hate not brushing my teeth. You guys know this, I care about my dental. It is my pride and joy. It is one of my assets. I do not like having gross teeth or bad breath, and I can only chew a stick of gum for so long. Weird fact about me, I hate chewing a full stick of gum. It feels too large. So this triggers my sister so bad. I'll tear the stick in half and you'll eat half of it. And then a lot of times when I'm chewing gum, I'll tuck it under my tongue because I think I look super ugly when I chew gum, because I'm like, I don't like the look of it. So it's not classy, it's not cute. So I'm doing that. And then something else I knew I needed to bring, because Singapore is basically on the equator and it's super, super humid there and hot a lot of times. So I am bringing a neck fan. That's what they said is like a must. I think I'm gonna ask, or I think I'm also gonna bring a hand fan. What I mean by that is one of those fans that you spread out and you just fan yourself with, because I think it said on the box for my neck fan that it lasts up to an hour. And I was like, an hour? And it said in like with the astro mark, like depending on use. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Your girl, I start sweating if I feel any kind of like little warm air. I could start sweating if there's a toaster on next to me, okay? I don't need just an hour of cooling off. I need this thing to work for like multiple hours. So we'll see how that goes. Those are the main things I'm doing and bringing on the plane. There is no good way to fly when it comes to this period, this length of flying. So I'm just gonna do the best we can. One of my only goals when I'm there is to go to Gardens by the Bay, but when I tell you I have no stinking clue where they really live in correlation to that, I need to map it out and see how far away it is from where they live. Also, a side note, I'll be going to Indonesia too. That was not planned, and that is due to Lindsay's husband. It is her birthday while I'm gonna be there, and so they are celebrating with getting a villa in a beautiful island off of Indonesia, and we will be there, and I'm so excited. So it will be like a beach trip as soon as I leave. As soon as I land, it will be like a beach trip. Back to back. I asked her husband when we're leaving, and he said the next day after I land. So I'm gonna be jet lagged, totally out of my mind, exhausted, probably just trying to adjust to like everything, the culture, whatever. And we're gonna make the best of it though, because I am a beach girly through and through. I'm so excited. Also, going back to packing, this is another Claire thing, which she's my sister. I am using packing cubes because she introduced me to them. I thought they were the dumbest thing. No, packing cubes are just these zipper bags, and you put your clothes in them or whatever items you want to bring, and then they collapse and they zip again around the edge, just like those collapsing suitcases that you can zip or unzip to either make space or collapse and make it more tight of a fit. That's what packing cubes do for your clothes. And I remember her gifting those to me and thinking, thanks. This is the dumbest thing I've ever freaking seen. Like, what a first world stupid gift. Actually, she's given me multiple gifts like that, and every time it's the best gift I've ever gotten. Every time. I'm like, these are fabulous. I love them. They've saved my butt, especially when you're limited on space like I am with this carry-on. So I am super excited for that. That's basically my prep, guys. So if you're going to Singapore, get ready to spend a bunch of freaking money. And I'm also saving a bunch of money because I'm staying with them. Get ready to spend a bunch of money. Get ready to be really sweaty and hot. And get ready for a super respectful, clean environment. So, and I cannot wait to see all the skincare products. Like I said, skin, hair, nails products when I get there. And other than that, I just want to like hang out with my girl and drink some iced coffees and chill in the sunlight. That's what I'm here for, to enjoy the day. So I'll keep you guys updated, and until later, love from your Midwest girl.